Maybe Ghost's mischief caused the temper drop, as ice blocks slowly pressed the ship, offering it a seat. The crew in charge of burying the old man mishandled his body and even took the ivory talisman, can't resist their thieving nature. They thought they were noble, showing zero respect to the locals, tossing them into the ice hole like trash, then poking the water with ice picks. Little did they know the disrespect would lead. This brought serious trouble to the fleet. The indigenous vessel released by Captain Fran didn't leave, but set up camp nearby to watch, causing some crew members to worry about her relatives seeking revenge. Terrifying legends about the Eskimos began to circulate, but what weighed on Captain John's mind was not the legends, but the urgent food situation. Before sailing, the Admiral warned that ample supplies didn't matter. A player plan was key. The greatest foe in the Arctic Circle is natives, but their own crew. When food runs short, 130 crew members will fight. Imagine no shoes to eat. Captain John regretted it deeply, so he quickly prepared a funeral to calm the crew's nerves. While he was in his room writing, Captain Fran knocked on the door, requesting to form a snowbridge squad, not to scout the ice but for manpower. If the team departs now, they may reach the nearest station before the cold front, but it means admitting the mission's failure. Captain John, already stressed to madness, refuses to lose the honor and firmly opposes the expedition, fearing mid-journey mishaps. They lost 6 of their best crew members during the previous ice surface scouting, so now it's a wait-and-see game for divine intervention. Seeing the ship getting squeezed by the ice, Captain Fran instructed his assistant to gather the 8 best crew members for a secret mission the next day. The assistant said such defiance may be rebellion, but to escape the icy trap, Captain Fran decided to lead himself after all. When it comes to blame, only he would take the fall. Meanwhile, Captain John planned to lead an attack with the crew catching the fattest mouse on board as bait. While on his inspection, Captain John didn't forget to take a selfie. Yet Dr. Gooser always felt there was something lurking behind him. He thought it was just his nerves, but as they returned to the tent, the armed soldier started shooting at the ice cliff. Maybe he had been looking too long, his eyes almost shut. Just imagine how bone-chilling it is at -40 degrees in the Arctic. Not knowing where that guy went, the doctor and 3 crew members ran this way, and after climbing over the hill, they spotted the doctor's group. In that moment, the ghost grabbed his ankle and dragged him a few meters towards the ice hole where the Skraelings were buried. He then realized messing with Skraelings was unwise. The ghost retaliated and shoved him down. But luck was on the captain's side. He wasn't going down that easy. Surprisingly, he got stuck on the fire pit while falling. When the doctor from the Spectre arrived, he only found the severed head, surrounded by huge footprints left by the ghost, so off they went to rescue the captain. Spotting the red blood trail leading to the hole, they gasped and quickly called the crew to find a rope for a rescue. Meanwhile, the captain had already sunk into the abyss of the Arctic. The dead one was the captain, not an ordinary crew member, and they can't afford to be reckless like the Skraelings. Dr. Stanley had lost his mood to scold anyone. All they could do was dress him up properly and get a Navy standard coffin. The crew of the Spectre sang him off as a farewell. The one feeling most relaxed was Captain Crozier. Now that Captain John was gone, he was the big boss, and no one could oppose him now. He had proposed several times to abandon the search for a route home, and now he was finally able to have his way. Crozier held a grand memorial for Captain John. The eulogy wasn't his. It was written by Captain John for Captain Gray, who had been slain by the ghost, and it turned out to be handy now. How ironic. In the comments, please like. Meanwhile, due to all Toner's passing, the ghost chose a new target to forge a contract, and Hellman was undoubtedly the top candidate, as he was in the snow house swinging a knife, ready to avenge his father. Suddenly, terrifying sounds came from outside, and Hellman knew the ghost had arrived. The ghost's breath, accompanied by dancing snowflakes, could scare an ordinary person to death. After it calmed down a bit, Hellman dared to crawl out to see what's going on. Not far away, a deceased snowcat lay on the snowy ground, a gift from the evil spirit. Soon, I'd be bound in a new contract with the ghost, even if he disagreed. Meanwhile, the ghost wasn't satisfied after killing Captain John and continued to rage against the crew on their ship. One crew member had already lost their breath. He ordered the subordinates to take care of this burial. Just as he pondered how to deal with the ghost, another crew member vanished while being chased, so Crozier summoned 30 crew members to go down and rescue. A young crew member, afraid, begged Crozier to take him along for the adventure. Crozier kindly reminded the young crew member to pull up his scarf, but when they climbed over a nice ridge, he found a dead body lying on the ice. Thinking it was one of the missing crew, he hurried over to take a look, but discovered only a pool of blood after lifting the foe, realizing it was a trap. He turned and shouted the crew member's name, but received no reply. When he returned, he was horrified to discover that the crew member had been snatched away by the ghost. After this incident, Crozer sensed that the ghost not only was fierce but might also be intelligent. What's worse, the last shred of sunlight in the Arctic had vanished. Next, a long period of darkness would arrive, making the already dim conditions perfect for the ghost to hunt them. The young crew member's death left Crozer feeling guilty, and had already given up on searching for a new route. Honest paled before safely returning the remaining crew home, yet James, the Spectre's first mate, aimed to fulfill Captain John's wish and keep seeking new routes. Faced with James' grandiose plans, Crozer had no words and left the room in anger. With the long night setting in alongside the ghost attacks, many crew members began to panic. Crew member Hiki encountered a strange noise on deck while patrolling. After a few moments of thought, he decided to investigate.